Morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I trust everybody is doing well. So, welcome once again, everyone, to our product deep dive call. This is happening every third Saturday of each month. Here we get our practitioners to come in and then speak about a particular topic in the sphere of service now, especially on application area, and then give us a deep dive on it and then a high level demo. So we also have them, answer our questions and then provide us any best practice or guidance. Um, we also have another sessions that we have, which happens on the first Saturday of each month. That's where we have a Q&A session or meet and greet. So here it's really all about getting to meet our practitioners and then have them answer our questions and provide us with guidance, especially as regards, you know, keeping in touch with technology, especially with also transitioning or breaking into tech, especially the ServiceNow ecosystem, and as well as try to give us words of wisdom or words of advice. But today we would be talking about the reporting and then analytics dashboards. Or unfortunately, um, Temi Abdulaziz is unavailable. Due to um, unavailable circumstances which he couldn't. So I would be taking this session really quickly in his absence. So just about that. So I would go ahead and start a little bit about um, the reporting, a little bit about me. My name is Nameka. I'm a technologist. I've been in the space for quite a bit. Evangelizing service now, evangelizing IT best practice. I'm a trainer. I try to make as much people get them into the ServiceNow space as I can. I host these sessions, and then I happen to be, both ServiceNow practitioner over the years. Also responsible for the AI practice for commercial client. I've also been certified in other areas, especially ITSM, HR, customer service, application portfolio, and and other competence areas within ServiceNow as well. Um, so I like to call myself a sponge. I like to soak up knowledge and share it. So just as an FYI. So I would go ahead and start to share really quickly so that we can be on our way. Um, so the topic today is really about reporting and performance analytics, or rather analytics dashboards, rather. So reporting is nothing but data visualization. So it helps with giving us a snapshot, making us understand utilization or usage of the platform. So things like adoption, things like user new users, things like the process. How is your workflows performing? You're able to use the report capability to actually drive through it. We're going to, when we get to the reporting, you would see the different from the report source within the report designer. You would see the opportunity to select a visualization, look at the configurations, as well as looking at how to make modifications to the styling for that report. But understand that reporting is really about data visualization. Your report enables you to create and distribute those reports. So that's the report capability within ServiceNow. So you look at the current state of your instance data. So your process flows. So you're looking at things like your open incidents, for example, based on their priority. So you can do those groupings. So the report functionality is available by default on all tables within the system, except the system tables. But every other table, you can always go to the list of that table and run quick reports on it. Quick reports are things like uh, pie charts as well as bar charts. Those are quick reports you can run from any list within any table. Just don't forget that. So some of the reporting roles there. Uh, so with your report, you're able to share your report with others. So somebody that doesn't have a role, if you share a report with them, they can view it. ServiceNow provided a role, it's called report view. So it's like, access control. Here you can view pretty much read. It's pretty much you're reading the data, so reading the fields on tables. So if you don't have a role, if I share a report with you, you should be able to view the report, but you cannot modify or do things because you need to now have the role for that underlying table or underlying data that you're visualizing. So things like an ITIL role can do it. You need to have a report user role for you to even get report capability, for you to even see it as an application available to you within your ServiceNow instance. If you do not have that, then there's no way. Also, with the reports capability, you can be able to not just schedule it, you can also modify reports, like when you want to work quickly, so you can use insert, creating new reports. You can do insert and stay and remain on the report. That way you have actually pretty much is more like making your own copy or making modifications or adjustments as you need to. You can do that. You can also export reports. There are quite a number of things you can do there. There is a report administrator who kind of like administers the reporting application. There's the admin of this platform who would definitely have that report admin role to be able to kind of like balance out the processes within that ServiceNow platform. There's also the report scheduler. With that, you can schedule reports, for users based on timeline, so the different audience can get to see it. The dashboards or analytics dashboards are a reusable canvas. Here you are able to provide a container for that your data visualization. So dashboards are really just placeholders for you to view those reports. So it's more like widgets. So you can look at those visualizations, you can filter or drill down on those visualizations, and then you can use all the other components like aesthetics, if you will. But we're going to see it in a bit once we get into the demo right now, so that you see it. You are able to schedule those reports to deliver it to your audience. We will look at those report schedules really quickly once we get in now. You are able to favorite those reports. And then, like we talked about, you can add the reports to those dashboards, especially dashboards you own or that you create, basically. You would see the different roles and capabilities as we go. Do we have questions? Do we have concerns? Do we have any questions? Because do we have concerns? So we're going to, go straight to the demos really quickly. We're going to go in to ServiceNow, and then we should be able to get reports really fast. And then that way we can go ahead and create the different components within our reports. So once again, I put my okay, and then I think it might have expired. Yeah, it would have expired. Yeah. The two-factor authentication thing. So all right, so I'll go to the dev. All right. Okay, it takes a couple of minutes. It should be stood up. Yes, I can go to the learning here. So all of these are hyperlinks to different resources within ServiceNow. It's a single sign-on. All you need is, you go create an account to get you into ServiceNow. So you can sign up to the personal development instance or the PDI. Within Now Learning, it provides you with, access to a developer pro instance where you can build, and practice. If you do not have one, all you need to do is to come here and then click on sign up. And then, like you create an account with Google or any of those email providers, you do the same. And then you can go in, it's going to, default your multi-factor to, email messages. You can go ahead and sign in here from your Now Learning. Already you would have been used to that because the multi-factor would send to your email already for you to get that to get into the Now Learning. This is a learning. This is where you can learn about the service now. Get a couple of things there. You can kickstart your career and then look at a lot of the different popular training programs that they have or learning programs. But here is where you come and get your own personal instance. This instance is available to you. You know, for this instance, if you after 10 days, if you do not use it, definitely to be reclaimed, added to the pool. You just need a developer activity. So something like coming in, changing a system property, something like even if you don't want to refresh it, going in there, maybe you have an integration that actually creates a simultaneous account. So that's one. Or you go in there and then um, um, maybe go ahead and create an update set or do something that developers or administrators would do. That's really all that it is to it. If not, you need to always come in and then refresh this for you to get another extension for another 10 days. If not, it will be reclaimed. I mean, there's no harm in it being reclaimed. It just means that you have to start all over, especially if you do not back up your instance. You could back it up by tying it to your repository, so you can connect it there and then do that if you will. But if not, there's always fun in going through the whole process again. There's a learning plans here, because in here most of the most some there are some free ones that are on demand, but not all of them. Some of them you need to pay for, so just remember that here. But if you come in here, you can go to this learning plan. In learning plans, there is citizen developer, which walk you through, for process users, process owners, things like that. There's new to service now. Each one has its own track where it tells you here you have 8 models really quickly. Here you have 16 models. Here you have 13 models. So each one, if it's administrator, here is you need to have 22 because this is for application development. So each one of them you can go ahead and do it. It will walk you through things you need to do, and then walk you through expectation. It's just page by page. The only difference with this one and the other one is this: in here, the lessons, you just go past them doing the tasks. It will use the images to guide you, but there is no like validation or verification. You're using a personal instance, so a PDI is what you will use to complete the tasks here, compared to when if you have it here, for example, on your Now Learning account. On Now Learning, in some of those simulations that come with that and the simulation tax, there's a validation where you have to click on check, and then it will give you some references to document to show you, especially if you failed stuff, it will tell you that. But here now, the expectation is you're going to use this images to make sure that yours is kind of like similar. So you're just trying to mirror what you see, really. That's what you're doing. FYI, in case you notice that. So here is just, you can see the green check to show that you're making progress as you go. There's no other validation. So your validation is you doing what you do. You're making sure your images or your pictures on your PDI match what you're seeing. That's all. That's all. So there's one for, um, there's one for the citizen developer. There's one for new to service now. There is one for administrator. Depending on your skill levels, you can choose any of these parts and walk through it. So depending on your skill level, you can look at any of the parts and then walk through. Depending on your skill level, you can look at any one of them and walk through it. And walk through it. Just as an FYI. So this is available. I'll go ahead and click on. I should be able to be taken into the instance. And one thing you should remember, why this is really important is this. This environment you see here is the same thing that your company or your organization will have. The only difference is that your company is paying for theirs, and then maybe your company has more applications or less than what you currently have here. That's the only thing, but it's the same thing. What you see here is the same thing. So when we say the environment or instance, this is what we're speaking about, an individual implementation of ServiceNow. This is it. It's no different. There's no difference. So, so the report applications, we would see it. So as we're typing it, it's filtering through to find everywhere that report exists. We can see reports under HR. We can see reporting in its own. Getting started always as always takes us to product documentation. This is it to talk about reporting. I'll just log in. It should automatically, so I click on it, should take me in. So it tells me about reporting so I can read through. Even for the best of developers or administrators or architects, all technologies, go read it. It's like a manual, it comes with your stuff. Go read it. Now get used to it. It's very important. Go get used to it. You see what exactly you can do, and then that way it makes more sense so that you get going really quickly. Accelerate your time to value. For you to see this application, we can click on it. You would see you need to have one of the roles stipulated in there. If you don't have this ITIL role, you don't have that report user or the asset role, you cannot see this report application. There's no way. There's no way. There are other menus because this is the application. These are menus underneath it. Remember, all these models, they are underneath the application in itself. So if you go take a look, each of these has its own filters. Very much is we are filtering the table records. So I must have any of those roles to see that. That create one. I must have the admin or report scheduler role for me to see scheduled reports, right? There is also performance analytics, the admin or power user role, um, without which you cannot administer or manage this platform. You cannot. So you can always view and run. View and run shows you the list of all the reports that are here within the tool. So all the reports that exist here, you can see them under view and run. These are all the reports here. Here, my report is the first filter you get. The next is the grouped reports. Then we have global reports and all reports. So the one in global and all are pretty much identical. Here, you're able to edit any of these reports by clicking on that pencil icon you see is edit. Here, you can click on this to favorite that report. Once you see any star on any item like that, it's the same thing. Favorite, to favorite the report. You can search for reports really quickly here. You can make sure, because in yours, it might not show created and last modified. But this is where you do that. You click on here and then add those filter options here, because yours will be like this. You just need to add it so that you can use that to sort reverse the sort Z to A, and then that way on this, and it will give you the most recent report that was created in the system, just as an FYI. It's very important. You're able to control creating a new report from here, just clicking on this really quickly, and it opens Report Designer. Data is the first thing you see when you're creating reports. You need a descriptive name for your report. What is it? A table, the source of your report, and then you select that table here from the tables list. You can also remember that you can use the data sources if data sources have been created already by yourself, or you can see the ones on the system, right? So like this is for knowledge use, this is for incident close, incident resolve, data source. Anyone you see with PA has performance analytics to it. So if in case you see that, that's what really the differentiator. So just as an FYI, just as an FYI. So create report is also there. Go ahead and make those favorites and really quickly. I'm done, right? So create reports in the same way. You can do that. It goes directly to the report designer. So it's more like create new for incident or create new for any other application area. It just opens a new page so that you can start to walk through. All right. So we would before we go doing that, I would go to. All right. Good. Great question. Great question. Performance analytics is an advanced capability. It gives you unlike reports that actually capture the data as at today, report analytics actually goes ahead to give you the ability to drill down on that data, and it's always going to be pretty much fresh. So it gives you advanced capabilities unlike a static report. It gives you that dynamic opportunity there. So a lot of times I always let people understand it's advanced reporting. You are able to drill down, you're able to put trends, you're able to compare. We would see a little demo because ServiceNow even provides the incident one out of the box so that you can use that to kind of like see pretty much to before you actually go through it. We can also, I think we had that we can do that really quickly, and then you would see it here. Just 1 minute here, and because so this some of which is just 1 minute. Because there's also, even funny enough, performance analytics, user experience analytics, which is where I believe ServiceNow is also going, where although most of which you need subscription to it. So nothing is really free. Just in case, reporting and performance. Sorry, oh no. Okay. So that you see. So there are two distinct applications. The real difference is the different use case. They complement each other, right? But the idea is you're not just looking at a static snapshot for today. Here you're basically your current state. Yeah, you're very correct, Tosin. So here you're basically looking at your ability to actually look deeply into that data. So you can look at historical trends, maybe compare last year and this year. You're able to even put thresholds. you're able to, come in there and then based off of that, answer more questions there. You can now also project that if this is this, then I can actually get to that. So performance analytics will help you do that. Reporting has its own use case. You can pretty much get a hang of what is currently happening in your workflow today, and then that will kind of like help you. So you can use this to actually project that PA one. We'll see that really quickly. So this will give you much more insight. That reported. So a lot of times I help people. It's really advanced reporting capability, because the only thing is, you remember they're doing similar but different stuff. But here now the PA one will really go drip down into your data. It will really go deep down into your data. So you can track thresholds, you can look at alerts, you can forecast future stuff. We'll take a look at it really quickly, because really what really matters on that one is that you have a timeline you're trying to look with for you to, and then you are capturing that data. We have the daily jobs that are turned on. Then we look at the historical project timeline which we want to look for. So for example, we can say last 6 months, last 3 months. We use that as our baseline or benchmark. Okay, last 3 months, this is what happened. Then we have to start collecting daily jobs that we use to compare with that historical data. So just as an FYI on there. But yeah, we will go to a list, I believe. First off, to be able to do that. So let's look at incidents that are created really quickly. These are incidents that are created on there that I do have. Um, I could do one of two things. So on any list, so this is incident the most used and abused for demos, especially, or most of the speak. You can come onto the category option. If you do not, uh, you can always go right and then click on there. You can see bar chart and pie chart, which are quick reports you can do. So for example, we're going to do a bar chart really quickly. Nothing really fancy. So here you can edit the name. You can do that, to have it, you know, based on your customer's requirements or whatever name they want to. So we can go back here, right? So bar chart on the incident table by category. So table is that, incident is that. So the type, you can always click on that or click on the next. So this is the bar chart, basically based on our selection for that quick report, right? The configuration is already preset. So we're looking at, active history, if there's any other filters, all of that to be built on, but it's using the group by which shows category. So that's what it's using, right? Here now we can see, we can display the table if we want to. Whenever you make any changes, all you need to do is to run it again. That's all you do. It will show you display. You can additionally group it. You can run a different filter. Just clicking on that, you can run a different filter. Basically, there's so much you can do here. The styling is just how it looks, the look and feel. So maybe I want to put a display table. I want to put the number, or maybe the coloring. I want to use color palette. Maybe I want to choose a different color palette. They're different. This is just look and feel, the team, if you will. The team, if you will. Maybe you don't want large, you say you want medium. It's all you, based on your customers. If you want the title, you want the custom title to be there, you want to select, maybe you want it to be, maybe let's put 20 here, maybe. It's all you. Maybe if you want reports only or you want it always, it's all you. Your customers tell you what they need. If you want a different title there, you put that there. You know, the axis X and Y, the controls of that. This will be it here. Once you finish with the running it or making your changes to it, just go ahead and save it. That's all you do. That icon that you see prior, like that inverted arrow thing, that's to share it. So for example, this is the information about this report. So it goes again, give you the basic info here. All right, you can see that. I can share it here. This is where you share. So if you see that, that's what it means. You can share it. Basically, you want to, by default, just like on your list, it's shared with you first. me. Just like when we saw on view and run, it shared with you first, me. Then next it goes with everybody. If you want everyone to see it, you can also specify that everyone that has a particular role. You can be granular like that. Then you can also share it with your group or specific users. So if it's a group, this is it here. This is the user. You can add yourself, or you can look for users on your list. You can continue to put them in there. Full control. You can schedule them based on a timeline. So you're looking at, maybe I want to schedule this report. I want to send it to maybe the, let's even go ahead and do that, because I think that's one of the demos there. So I could say send it to the service desk group maybe. All right, service desk. If the group or the user is not there, you put their email directly, they'll get it. So here you can see daily, what time of the day. So this is hours, this minutes, this seconds. So let's say daily, I want it at 9 a.m. maybe, or I want it weekly. What day of the week? Maybe I want it on Mondays. You could also say monthly, what day of the month, whichever it's a schedule, right? Whichever. So if you want it based on a period, how soon is the interval? How many days? How many months? 180 days maybe, starting from this day. So this is all of that control there. You can run it once if you want to, just run one time. You can run it on demand. It's all here. So weekly, let's do weekly Mondays. You can also check that to omit, if it's empty. Based on a condition, you can put a script here to full control, full blast. So much stuff you can do with this thing. It's a lot. So schedule report. Demo. So we have it for schedule demo Monday. Monday, 9 a.m. So we already know, the same information is a bar of incident by category, right? That's all. And that's it. You can have whether it's a PDF or PDF, PNG, whatever, landscape thing, right? The output, letter size A4, whatever custom legal is here. That's scheduled. It's gonna go at that time. You can add it to a dashboard. The dashboard list which pop up here, those dashboard that you're able to, they will be listed. You have the part that you're part of that dashboard that you can include them there. Add a new. If you add a new tab, it will include that new tab and then put your stuff in there. You can also export that report there. Export it via with a PDF, landscape, whichever, or send it via email. Yes, you can. So full control of this thing, full control. So the same way you can do the same thing, you can look at priority. For example, I can do pie chart, look at pie chart basically on there. The same way to go really quickly. Then I do that. Quick reports on any list. You can look at stories created on this month. All it is, your filters will be there. You just put the filter. You can say that. You can filter it, because these are, you have any table you select, you have all the fields on that table and related tables too. So when you say columns, you have those fields. You can use that to work on it. That's the beauty of this thing. That's the beauty. So if I view and run reports, we can make those favorite really quickly before we get to um, to the dashboard one, and then I'll show a couple of other things there really quickly. So view and run for that reporting one. We can always run that. It shows us the two. We can make those favorites there, right there. We can edit it to open up for us really fast. Let's say I wanted to make a duplicate one, everything makes sense. Okay, this one I can say additional group by. Maybe I look at assign to, maybe I put that there. I put that in there. What I would do is then I would just take away this one. Let's see, and assign to. Yeah, the distribution list is very important for sure, Dre, for sure. The distribution list, for sure, the distribution list is very important, no doubt, for sure. So here I can come in here and then insert and stay. So I create a new report right there too. So if we go to that view and run one, we should see the three of them will show up. That's all it is. That's it there. The other two are still there without really hindering that. The things you make sure whenever you make any of those changes to that, you ensure that you run it. Because if you've not run it, then there's really nothing that it's done. Whenever you make any change, you run it. Insert and save and stuff, you're ready to go. Then I think the other thing I wanted to look at is the dashboards. Because I think that was it. I think quick reports, then favoriting the reports, then the schedule, and then dashboards. So the dashboards one is really quickly. So dashboards, you can do dashboards on the self-service. You can see dashboards under that performance analytics. So there's dashboards under user experience also. There's a lot of those dashboards being migrated with that dashboard tool. They're all in there under the user experience. But there's also the performance analytics. You see the dashboard, so you can see everywhere dashboard shows is Peterboard popping out. Performance analytics dashboards. So you see dashboards there. So a couple of things very quickly. Just so the dashboard, just as always, you can see recent dashboards, you can see owned by me, you can see shared with me also, and then all dashboards basically will show up. As good as that, this is in. Click on that. You'll be the owner if you're provided with based on your requirements, whoever that dashboard owner is, you put that name there. If it's particular to a group, you put that there. Remember, it's based on the requirements. Whatever user story that has been provided, you're going to create that. So dashboard demo. Oh, it's a deep dive dashboard. Just demo. All right. So ideally, you could restrict it based on the role there, right? View dashboards. That's all you do. And then it shows you the dashboard canvas where you can do a ton of stuff, ton of stuff. So for example, you are able to control the dashboard thing here. So for example, you can click on there, it goes back, right? You can take a look, you should see your dashboard there. You click on it. You can click on the additional actions there. You can see new dashboard if you want to. The dashboard properties, which we're just coming from, you can pull it up. You can see the breakdown if you wanted to view that dashboard like we did before. Yeah. Assessment, especially with PA. Yeah. Breakdown sources and KPIs, things. All right. There's so much stuff you can do here. You can, with this, you're adding widgets to it because it's visualization, different visualizations. So these are those favorite reports we had. So we're going to add them really fast, really quickly. So just put one there. Put the second one, I think, bar chart. So we do a pie chart, I believe. A pie chart really quickly. We can add that there. We can create a new tab there, just like we can do here too as well. You can duplicate, you can delete, you can copy the URL, the whole information, right? You can make it create it as a favorite, your report, your dashboard rather. You can do it. You can export that as a PDF here. Creating a new tab is there. Click on that. Pops a new tab up there. You can go in, edit the tab there. You can change the name, for example. So I just say, instead of tab 2 is what I said, of new tab, I put tab 2. All right, I do that there. You can change it to, whatever name you want to. On there, you can do tab 1. All right, it's all you, based on your requirements, your customer's request. So in there, you can choose the, coloring here. You can decide on what coloring it can be here based on the request, right? You can also do layouts. So for example, you can decide that if you wanted it to be this, you can apply that based on any request you get. You can also go ahead and, add, you want to share it, so you can share it with the group. You can add the roles to the user, whatever, they get the invitation there. You can see whether they can view it or edit. So if you want them to just view it, yeah, for sure. If you want them to be able to, modify things around, give them that access. It's there. So just like you see there's that group you could decide on, or the user specifically, or the role, you can do it. So add there, you're going to go to that widget, you take that out, you can see the different, this was favorite, you can see on the reporting one. So on reports, you can go to, adding those reports that we had. I think, other bar charts that we use, so we could do reports there really fast, really quickly. I think we had this one. And then you could also, let's say the reports here doesn't fit your criteria, for example. You could also just create a new report, because a new report widget can be added there, and then you can configure that widget. Full blast. So let's say I do, I can say, stories created this quarter. And then I take the stories. So user stories, I just type it as I am, as I'm typing. Should find it. I should be able to find that table there, except yeah, that's it. RM_story should be able to do it. So I can do a quick one. I can do just because each one serves a different purpose. So badge, you're looking at aggregation and stuff, but just you count. I just want to count. So I just choose count. Can type it off in there too. So these are all the stories. I just want the count of the stories, and then I say created on this quarter, right? That's all. That's the filter I want created on. I choose the quarter, this quarter. So I go to quarters. Let's say this quarter, and then I run it. That's all it will do. Then and then it will be there. So if I do not put the single score thing as my selection and I run it, then there's no way. All right, that's all it is. That's all it is. You can change the coloring in there. You can go in there. You can see the edit. You can drag it. Let's say you don't want it to be like that. You can do it. You could draw this thing. All right. So much things you can do. You can do that there. You can see. You can delete. Right. You can edit the thing. You can always refresh the. You see, I have also the option to put performance analytics and other filters there. There's so much widgets you can use. Remember, those uh, widgets that you can configure and then use to visualize your data. So there's so much you can do with it. And then back to PA, or performance analytics, that we have. ServiceNow provides you the performance analytics. Performance analytics. ServiceNow provides you the incident analytics for free. So you can see performance analytics guided setup, which, for anyone that's looking at, you're wanting to really go deep down. Like as always, getting started is the documentation. So don't forget, that's the first space, even for, so get started, go take a look. It tells you can look back 180 days. You're looking at the different KPIs, whether you're looking at breaking it down based on assignment groups or priority or state or age, whatever it is. complementary incident. So you can go and start to peruse. You go practice, see how it should be. So you can get started. Takes you, you want to try out the incident one, it tells you, all right, visualize what you need to do. It tells you, how you can look about it. Um, visualization or what needs to be done. So go take a read. Very important. You can always go there and then start with, it tells you the different types. So you're looking at the indicator, the breakdown, your data collections. So we can really work with that. So this is the incident one. So just as an FYI, so ideally, the jobs, which is what we'll look at really quickly before we look at the analytics for visualizing the data. So I'll just, go to performance analytics. Underneath that, you would see under administrators, data collection, you see the jobs. There would be a job which would be there. So one would be historical. You're looking at, like it talks about for incidents, 180 days. Pretty much, if you look at that, that's the last 6 months. So that gives you a baseline for you to benchmark it, right? So you're going to use that as for comparing any new changes that will happen. So I'm going to look at incident really quickly. I already have done it, or before, but this is the two of them. This is the two of them. The historical job, you just need to run it once, but the one that will be capturing data on your process, right? So this is 60 days, right? Relative start 60 days. You can adjust that 180 days, right? It also depends on your data, which data you have. Days ago, you can see weeks ago, months ago. If it's more, you make the adjustment, right? You make the adjustment. You both score and text, right? You make the adjustments, whatever it is. So all it is execute now for the historic jobs. That's all that it needed. It takes a couple of minutes. The job will be scheduled to be collecting that data. The job will be there. It just takes a little bit. It will run through, see what it is based on the set, the performance indicator, right? So the key performance indicator that is being measured, what it needs. Some of them are automated, that we do have there. Some of them are manual. So all of that would already have been preset. You also have the daily job. The daily job runs at midnight. In some cases, runs at 1 o'clock, depending on what has been preset. All you just need to do is the daily job is going to run daily at that time. So you control it here, whatever time it is. So the same way I just execute this one too. But the major thing is to make sure that this one is turned on, it's active, because this is the one that goes down in the night to get the data, where you would be able to use this and start to do your thing, for the different indicators. This is the one. All right, this is the one that you'll be doing it. So like summed of age incidents on is the source. It's telling you daily summed age open incidents, number of closed incidents. So these are the ones, the different breakdowns, right? And these are the ones that we're counting it, getting this information for you. The other one is the historical one is, I think this one. Okay. So, but it's pretty much those are the indicators it's checking. Duration for resolve incidents, duration of closed incidents. So that's the source. New incidents, opened incidents. All right. That now you can, once it's done with that job, you should be able to, once it's completed, you can go look at the visualization. So on this one, you can go take a look, see the visualization. So once it's completed, it should be green. Yeah, collected, and the status will change. So once it's completed, the status will change. Just as an FYI. Do we have questions? Do we have concerns? Okay. Right. That lets us know that the distribution of your reports is very important. You want to know your audience also. Remember, those are part of your questions for the requirements that you, especially when you're building those out. Who will receive those reports? Is it going to be while you're preparing that? Is it just for your C level, your CEO or chief executive level, or top management? Is it for vendors? Because based off of that, you have to make sure that they're looking at just high level details. If you have it strictly for vendor, then you're looking at specifically their own data, or data that pertains to them, because all of that will help. It's just like managing communication. You need to have that. Uh, you questions that that is helpful that he always asks is, so when will the report be created? So that information will be provided to you. So what will be the output of the report? So you're looking at those visualization, or the different data that they're trying to report. um so who will receive the reports? um so all of these will great points that to be able to use. And then that's good questions. Many of them always come out also for interviews, especially if you say you're a reporting specialist. So you want to be have those handy. It's very important. So don't go missing. But great stuff, great stuff. I'm loving it. It's great stuff. So here now we can go to the reports and look at the analytics hub. We can go ahead and view it. We should be able to, and then it should pop it up really quickly for us to look at it, so we can see those incident ones. We can start to see like incidents that opened the last 30 days. All right, we can see those 182, so it can give you that visualization. um, you need license. So even though this is it's able to run it, but we're also limited. Remember, if people don't have the that license, although this one is the free one, right? But if we don't have the license, we can't really do so much. So we can break it down here based on if we wanted to say priority, for example. So as we go, drill down. As we go, we can look at it from many different angles. Any different angle. So you can say you want to set a target on it, for example, set a new target or a global target here. So there's so much you can do. You can set thresholds. So for example, you want to say, okay, if this gets to this, flag this, send a message to the manager, or let the process owner know here. So there's a lot there that you can do. There's a lot. So here you can see forecasting, your ability to, look at trends, see what should be where. This is 20%, this is 30% of it. If we move further, this is, you know, much more drill down capability. So much more, so much more. You can communicate to your stakeholders there, put add comments, it's all in here. It's like when you're working on records, you add mention the person, right? The same thing. So much stuff you can do. All right, so much stuff. um Everything depends on your community, your stakeholders, so they will tell you your requirements. So those details and those requirements really help you, so that you can understand. It's a lot. Each capability services a different use case, but for sure, for sure, um, most of the resources that you need are out there. The PDI provides you that. And then you look at the documentation, what the documentation says. Sometimes they come with images. Work with these things, right? Some of them they provide you guided setup. Even like we talked about in the ServiceNow resources, there is also that customer success that now create. Some of them, they give you implementation steps, methodologies. Use these resources. They are templates so that you have faster time to value, consistent outcomes. So it's very important for you to reference most of these materials. They're really important. So don't reinvent the wheel. Do not do that. It's like learning the hard way. Some of these things were before strictly for partners, but now they are available to each and everyone. So you should leverage it. It's very important. Should be armed with the knowledge you need to be successful in these ServiceNow implementation journeys. Do we have other questions? Do we have concerns? Do we have questions? Do we have concerns? I know we've passed the time a little bit. Once again, we want to thank everyone for the opportunity. A couple of minutes, the videos will be out. Thank you, Tosin. The couple of minutes, the videos will be out. Don't forget to, download. And then once again, like we talked about, unfortunately Tammy couldn't join because of some family emergencies. So say what a prayer for him. And then yeah, um, as always, don't forget we would have a next session next month on the third Saturday. But other than that, stay blessed. Enjoy your remaining part of your weekend. Have a good one now. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, Emeka.
You too. Bye bye.